Hello, and welcome to Grindcast, the official podcast of GrinderWord.com. Today we have
Matt,
Will,
and Jason, and today we'll be continuing our coverage on E3, full of excitement and a lot less Cuphead. Sorry, Will.
I understand.
It's over with. He's gone. He joined the wrong team. The wrong team.
it's true. I guess this is more the end of E3 that was kind of meh.
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
I guess so.
And
We'll start off with Nintendo.
Nintendo.
You got that Nintendo game? They had that there Zelda game.
I'm so fucking excited
kind of a
about
big deal.
Breath of the Wild. Oh my
Pretty
god.
good.
They actually added a jump button, which a lot of people are like, oh, it's the first time we jumped this link. You haven't played any of the games with the fucking Rock's Feather Rockscape, but that's different. He's actually able to jump without an item in this game. They're making it literally probably as big, if not bigger than fucking Skyrim from what I've seen. Link's climbing like literal mountains, which is insane.
As long as that's really in the game.
Oh, it is. The people
I'm just saying,
when
Nintendo.
people were playing it. When we were playing it, they were doing that.
Okay, good.
And one of the things they added, though, is changing his clothing, because certain, like, you had to wear warmer clothing in, like,
certain
cold
climates,
areas, because you don't want Link to fucking...
Not just a different color?
Yeah. And, hunting animals to get food to restore your health, so it's no longer you're just picking up hearts, which was a little odd to me, because I'm so used to picking up hearts, but this is a nice change of pace.
I mean, if they're making it more realistic, you can't really just smack a bush and find a heart floating there, so...
Yeah, you have to go and hunt, like, animals, and you can apparently cook now. And from the trailer, they make Link just seem like such a horrible person. He's, like, setting brush fires and fucking knocking boulders down and cutting trees. It's like, what are you doing, Link? You used to love nature, now you're just destroying it all. The
Survival, man.
Pretty much. The glider is really fucking cool. I mean, it's the Deku Leaf from Wind Waker, but... They made it so that, like, if you set a fire and then you glide above it, you rise higher because of the heat from the fire. Cool. They're adding a lot of really interesting things to Breath of the Wild. Not to mention the multiple types of weapons that you can use in the game. I'm excited about that.
And I think it's going to be neat if it's, you know, like you said, you get the leaf for, like, the glider and everything. If it's more like you had to find the materials to build that instead of getting it from a boss or something.
Some of that, I can understand that for some things. That would be really cool, like making the glider and whatnot, but I really wouldn't want to do that with every...
Apparently, you get the glider from completing trials. I guess, like, you complete these trials and you earn these, like, spirit orbs or something like that. They talked about it a little bit when they were going over the gameplay, because they showed one of the trials, and it was, like, really cool. It was very Twilight Princess-esque in the style of the art and stuff. And then they introduced an ability to use, like, magnetism on metal to be able to move large, like, blocks and stuff that are metallic, which was really cool. Which is, you know, that was
It's
always
pretty standard Zelda stuff. By the way, it looks... fucking amazing. Like, the first time they cut to the one scene in the trailer where it's like a river or a lake or whatever, and there's ducks on now, it's like, that's goddamn beautiful. It is fucking beautiful. Like, there's no other way to describe it.
I'm glad it didn't go for a cartoonier look this time around, because, like, I wanted something more
I
realistic.
think it fell in between.
It was a nice in between between Wind Waker and Skyward Sword. Yeah.
I was fine with the way Skyward Sword looked. I thought that, you know, and plus for what the Wii could do, that was pretty much the best you were probably going to get out of it. But
I don't know about that, because Twilight Princess was really fucking good.
but what they were trying to do with
It was much
Skyward
darker.
Sword,
Yeah.
because they had to put a lot of the programming into that fucking motion that didn't work out too well.
For some people, I know it was horrible for me. I fucking hated it.
It didn't work on the E3 that they showcased it, I'll know that much.
And speaking of Twilight Princess, there is some amiibo compatibility with the Wolf Link amiibo from
Twilight Princess
HD.
Yes, of course, there is the amiibos.
For what? Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Huh.
And guess what it does? Brings Wolf Link into the game to be with you as a companion. And he's with you for as long as his health stays up. And he will attack enemies and stuff. But once his hearts run out, he'll disappear and he won't be available for 24 hours in real time.
That's pretty legit. I respect that. That's pretty cool. I mean, I don't really respect the idea
So,
that I'm playing as Link with Link next to me. That's weird to me.
So then that means if you get this game, you're gonna have to pop open your Twilight Princess HD box.
Unless I buy like a loose.
Oh my fucking! There's no tape on that box. Nobody's gonna know. I really highly
They
doubt
will know now.
that in like 30 years from now, people will be like, "Oh my god, I wish I saved my amiibos. I could have retired."
I've got some sitting in a container in the attic right now, just accruing value.
Yeah, until Japan ships them all over again. Like literally, they're flooding the streets.
Yeah.
I will say my most interesting thing about that game is the change in the fact that your weapons can be anything.
Yeah.
Kind of did that in Wind Waker, where you can pick up like fallen enemies' weapons, but you still resort back to the hero sword.
Yeah.
Because in like every Zelda game, you only ever use the sword. It never changes. And I was fine with that, but being able to like legitimately, I have a spear now or a club, and that's Link's weapon. It's pretty fucking
The one
cool.
thing I didn't notice, and maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention, is I didn't see you actually having like a fairy companion
You
that
don't.
followed you.
You don't.
Which is fantastic.
That's why they added the Wolf Link capability to have a companion character.
But I like the idea that you don't have to have a companion.
Right.
That's like really cool.
Yeah, they actually made
They're going back to Zelda 1
Yeah.
in its
they're actually
design.
Yeah, they actually like tie them together story wise too. I forget how it's done, but
So they did announce where in the timeline this
yeah,
one takes
I
place?
somehow connected with the first Zelda.
All I want them to do is give me a conjuring ability so I can bring in a Daedric Lord whenever I want to. That would be fantastic.
But there's more. There was some more amiibo stuff too. There's a couple of Link
Of course there
amiibos.
are.
One on the horse,
With
which
the bow, yeah.
which looked pretty badass. There was the one with him just like in like ready to shoot an animal with his bow, and then there was one that they showed off of one of the, I don't know if it was a boss character or just one of the enemies in the game with tentacles.
The like Guardian Goma looking thing.
Yeah, and like it's the first amiibo they've created that's like posable. Like you can move the tentacles around in like different ways.
That's kind of cool. The thing that, like, this trailer that they shown for it made it look more like, you know, you're Link surviving, and it's just like you got wooden this and that and other. But you think back to that first trailer they shown where he had like fucking this futuristic looking arrow that like glue.
When
and
you were riding
like,
on a Poda. By the way, I fucking love that one scene in the trailer where he just like walks up to the horse and
Oh, he just like he
kidnaps
just
him.
gets
Like,
on
you're
it.
my fucking horse now, bitch. And he just rides off.
The horse is like, I didn't sign up for this. Too bad, bitch, you're mine.
Yeah, and I think that first trailer was just kind of like, this is what the game's more or less going to look like, and kind of give you an idea. And then they took that and were like, we actually still have to make the game.
Yeah.
So
And they're still working on it. I mean, they're still
Yeah.
fleshing out. I mean, that demo, they said that nobody was going to cover the whole thing that was going to be able to play it at E3 because that's how big just the demo is, and they
Yeah.
have a lot more to do.
And like they've been saying forever, you can go everywhere in that game.
Which is great. I think that's gonna be awesome. Well, and they said even like you could fight Ganon in the first 15 minutes of the game if you wanted to.
Did they say that?
Yeah, they said that. They said you could find Ganon in the first 15 minutes if you wanted to, because that's not the end goal.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
This is
Yeah.
fucking literally Skyrim.
yeah, literally it is.
Shit.
So then they had that, which was basically their magnum opus, and they shown that first. That was like, well, no, technically first they shown
was-
Reggie.
Yeah. Reggie just comes out and he goes, "Hey, everybody, remember
He's got his
Reggie?"
big hands, and he's
But
just doing his
They
business.
look big in the camera.
Business shots, and he's like, for you, we've got things to sell.
Stop it, bud. Stop it.
We've got Zelda, which is going to be groundbreaking, and now I'm going to turn it to some girl and some dude, and they're going to talk about Pokemon for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, for like an hour and a half.
That, like, I fell asleep during part of that Pokemon thing.
Yep.
My favorite one's like the close-up on his eyes, and it just says, "My body is ready."
Ready.
That's my favorite. It's like the Pokemon thing really lost me because I'm like, how can we really seriously talk about Pokemon for this long? And like I get it, it was like, oh, it's in a different place. It's kind of different than
Hawaii
other
now.
ones before. Oh, here's 3 new Pokemon, which are basically the same elements you start with every fucking time anyway.
Yeah.
And they're asking them questions like, why'd you go with Sun and Moon? And it's just like, I really feel like that translator was like, okay, I'm not going to tell them everything these guys are saying.
Yeah.
Because they're they're saying like paragraphs, and he's just like, that's it. The Sun and Moon. That's all we got left. We did everything else. We did golds, diamonds, rupees, sapphires. We did cereal. That's all there's left. The
Black
Sun and
and white,
Moon.
X and Y.
Yeah.
It stopped with the fucking colors a while ago, people.
Start
Jesus.
going through the Greek alphabet next, and
Yeah.
got
So,
like military ranks.
And then they're asking him like, why a lion?
I'm a first grade.
Why a lion for the
Junior
epic?
grade. Iroquois Pliskin.
Yeah.
Another Metal Gear reference.
It's Pokemon. You can paint it however you want. It's still the same game. It's just
Honestly, after this many games, I'm surprised they have any new type of fucking animal, creature, or whatever to throw out at you.
No, they have
What's there, like a 500,000 goddamn Pokemon now?
No, I think they're
Like-
over 700 at this point.
Okay. And then they're like, oh, the Pokedex this time around, once you
Rotom.
evolve it, it'll follow you around, it'll walk with you and all this stuff. I'm like, yay!
It's Rotom, but you don't
Yeah.
know anything about that.
I don't, because I stopped playing Pokemon after Blue and Red. Like, that was it for me.
Back in '98.
Yeah. I popped that in, I was
hung
like,
up his Pokemon boots.
well, I pop it in, after playing a while, I'm like, I got Pikachu, that's it. That's all I need to do. Game's over.
Pikachu's garbage.
That was my goal. I was like, I'm going to get Pikachu. Then I won.
Pikachu is so bad. There's so many better Pokemon.
I'm not going to get into
Even
it.
in fucking Gen 1. I
That-
swear to God.
That's great. I'm not going to know a damn thing you're talking about, honestly. I played
Which-
Pokemon Snap. That was
a good game.
That was it after
It's a
that.
fun game.
So, yeah, there was about an hour and 20 minutes of that. November 18th is when that's coming out for you Pokemon fans. Then there was Paper Mario Color Splash.
Which I thought looked amazing. Still same style. The 2D characters set in like a 3D type
2D,
world.
3D paper world.
Yeah. And like it just looked really good, really colorful. Which
I would
is
have hoped so if it
which
ain't like
is-
that. It
Yeah,
should've
which
been-
is which is the
It'd
direction.
be great if it was in black and white.
Not even black and white, just gray.
But they did something kind of like
They have
they
to use a
did,
Kami brush to color it
like
in.
they did in Sticker Star, where they had like some things that looked like it was like real,
Yeah.
like real life type items in this paper world that like stick out like a sore thumb. Like
Yeah.
there's this one scene where there's like a desk fan in the background. It just looks like a desk fan, like a real desk fan, and like it just really looked interesting. And once again, it's like, oh, somebody's sucking all the color out of everybody, and now we have to get all the color back. And it seems pretty like a simplistic storyline.
Seems like somebody played Epic Mickey in that office, and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
we can take this idea, right? Nobody played this fucking game, right? I should just hold this up to
Oh
the
my
camera the
God.
whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, that's all you get. I couldn't hold it still that
You
long.
like colors?
And if that makes it on the YouTube, it's going to give me a little annotation that says, your video, we detected some shakiness in it. We
Well,
detected much Reggie in your video.
yeah, there's too much Reggie in your video.
He's gonna copyright strike it.
Reggie intensifies.
No, it looked a lot like Thousand Year Door, which I
I really
loved.
liked 1,000 Years. That was
Yeah.
a fantastic game. They even had a bunch of like crazy stuff that Nintendo doesn't normally do with their type of RPGs, where it's like you do all this ridiculous stuff to get Miss Mouse, the mouse thief.
Mhm.
Like you couldn't just, she didn't just join you once you got to a certain point in the game. You had to like do a bunch of side shit, which was cool as fuck to me.
Yeah, the Mario RPG style games, the Paper Mario, the Mario Saga games, I think they're great. So yeah, definitely one I'll be picking up at some point.
And then they showed Mario Party Star Rush.
Which was a 3DS exclusive title.
I think
You
they're
snort the stars in this game.
I guess.
I feel like they're just throwing darts at words, like on the wall. Because you had you had that Mario part, the sticker star thing.
Yeah, Paper Mario sticker
it's
star.
just like they're like
Good game.
the word star is on the wall more than other things, so they're like, and star, and now we need a verb. Rush.
Star is
Yeah.
always there.
Yeah.
They always have stars.
It's like they have a wall of like Mario words and nouns, and then verbs over here. So they're just like star, rush, sticker, stars. It's just like
Yeah.
I don't know where they're getting like it. And like you said, Star Rush. It's like they're just like Mario's sitting there, just like smashing rails of fucking.
Starman.
Oh, here we go!
Two lines of Starman.
I don't like you say that, but you don't say that about like any of the Souls games, especially like Bloodborne. Like a lot of the shit in that game, they're just like, fuck it, let's just come up with a bunch of shit with blood or whatever in it, and that.
Well, no. Honestly, like I never said it, but really, like Bloodborne, they basically like the devs went in and just found everything that was like, instead of like hollow or dark or whatever, and they're just like autocorrect blood. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. All right, now we'll just make it Victorian and print it. Good to go.
Yep.
And
Take out
faster.
shields. Take out shields.
Oh, there's a shield in the game.
if you want it.
It's garbage.
Yeah. if somebody like comes up to me and they're like, "You want a shield, or do you want a gun?" I'm like, "I think I'm gonna go with a gun." It's like, well, your other weapon's gonna be a sword. I'm like, I'm still going gun. Gun will stop more than shield. But yeah, it's yeah.
Sometimes
I mean, when Bloodborne came out, people were like, "Oh my god, this is great!" I'm like, it's the same fucking thing. It's just
it's faster.
there's blood now instead of embers
Souls.
or hollows or souls or
Mm-hmm.
Now you got blood echoes.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, whatever. I didn't know my blood could echo.
It's the memories held within that blood that empower you.
Of course, and if you put it in an animus, you'll find out who your ancestors were.
Stop it,
fighting
And this
for the
is all
Templars.
available to you in Mario Party
In
Star Rush.
I was like, back to what? But yeah, so
always
Mario
do this
Party
off
Star
topic.
Rush. I haven't liked Mario Parties since they put in the whole like everybody just jumps in this dish and we'll take you around the board together. There's no branching paths. It's just everybody goes the same place. What's what it looks like? Like,
I know.
welcome to Mario Party. Here's a saucer of milk. Get the fuck in.
I think 8 is where they finally got away. They got away from the original formula. I think as 9 did that.
Yeah, and then 10
And
did
10
the
did
same
the same
thing.
thing, yeah.
And everybody was so excited, like, oh my god, a new one. Maybe they didn't. Fuck.
I'm still that guy that's too much nostalgia for like 2 and the older games. Mario Party 2 is.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I liked 2 as well, and the only thing is like when 2 was around, I played it at a friend's house and it was fun. I don't own it, so for me to own it,
Yeah.
I have to feel safe with spending like $90 to $100 on a game that's like
No,
20 years old.
No, you don't.
If I want to get the original,
Why do you need the original? Stop it, man. Stop it. You do this to yourself all the time.
I'm not using the fucking virtual
I
console.
swear to God. Yes.
If I'm gonna get the game, I want to get
Fuck
the
it.
actual fucking game.
Don't.
Yeah.
I got a copy of them and go home and destroy it.
It amazes me.
Good. I hope you do.
It amazes me the price
Dumbass.
on like Mario Party 3 and stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really is. But
Mid inbox.
So,
I have the box for
Chrono
it.
Trigger.
at any rate, there was Star Rush. Then out of the other major titles, there's a new Monster Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I tried Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do in this game. So
I've actually never played a single Monster Hunter. I'm not against it. I just.
I thought it was cool because I'm like, I love monsters, I love hunting. I want to play this game, and then it's like it puts you in there. It's like, okay, well, you need to harvest stuff from the things you kill. All right, I understand that. I get that. All right, well, the crafting system is very convoluted, and you're going to get lost in 10 seconds. But we'll explain it to you in the most backwards way possible. And the menu to set it up as to how to smith things makes no sense. Because you'll have some, like, I've seen this, like, I came to this part, and this is where I quit, was it was like, I wanted a certain weapon. It told me all the pieces I needed to get it. I'm like, okay, cool. I went out, I found those pieces, I came back, and like the weapon I wanted to make still wasn't highlightable for me to make it. I'm like, well, what else am I missing? It's all there. See, right there. I got it. That's all highlighted, but I still can't make that sword. I'm like, what's going on? Couldn't find things to help me out. So it was just it ended there. And I don't know, it kind of looked like shit too.
Yeah. There were is that the last game we had listed? Because there were a few others.
There were some. No, that was the major titles.
There were a few others that I just remembered, but I didn't write down. There's a Harvest Moon game coming out on the 3DS. Exactly. There was another one, but I can't think of it right now.
And it must have been good.
Yeah, there was a lot of like just little niche titles.
Yeah.
On the 3DS. Not a lot of Wii U stuff. As far as Wii U stuff goes that they announced, it was really Zelda and Paper Mario were the only two.
Also,
that they really
Fire Emblem X.
We're still
Persona
supporting.
crossover.
Right.
They're like, we're still supporting the Wii U.
Was it like something Tokyo? I can't.
Yeah, Tokyo something.
Tokyo Drift Ultra Max.
Yeah.
And then there was and these were 3 indie titles off the top of my head that I thought were good. There was Axiom Verge, which looks really neat.
Which is
Super,
like a
Super Metroid.
Super Metroid style game.
Severed looked pretty cool.
Is that the one where you play as like the guy that's stuck in a suit of it's like spacesuit that's like an AI, and it has to control him because he's extremely wounded?
I believe so, yes. And
So
then there
that
was
was really interesting.
Joe Tun. Looked pretty cool.
Mm.
So that was really Nintendo's conference. There wasn't a whole lot, but it was still, in my mind, better than Microsoft's conference.
Yeah.
Proof that quality over quantity still holds true.
That's kind of been Nintendo's mantra the past couple years.
Forever.
Yeah.
So then we move on to some of the other, like, basically developer conferences. We'll go the bigger one, Bethesda. And as Jason ruined this in the last episode, we'll now talk about everything that he talked about. They start their conference off.
I was annoyed. Sorry.
It's okay, no.
This is so fucking
They
poor.
start their conference off with Quake. Quake Champions. They brought Quake back, which, and I told Will about this earlier, I was like, I saw this kind of coming a mile away, because they brought Doom back, and everybody fucking loves it, and they should, because it's a good game. So I'm like, well, what other major IP did they have that was first-person shooter that, apparently changed the genre back then, too? Quake. So, yes. And after Quake 4, which was fucking horrible, they should have brought it back. Now, this is only on PC right now, which I kind of see that changing eventually and going to all the other consoles. Especially if you can play it on Windows 10. So I'm sure Microsoft's been like, make sure you get it on a shitty console. We need it. So you can't play it in the same house together.
Yeah, I'm not really
Those
worried
little
about Quake.
fuckers.
I'm not really worried about Quake, honestly. I never really played them.
I liked Quake.
I didn't really either. I mean, I remember playing it. Which one was on Dreamcast?
I knew you were going to say that.
Quake Arena?
Quake Tournament or, yeah.
I think it was Quake Arena.
Something like that. It was good. I liked it. It's
fine.
Whatever.
It's fine.
So then, Fallout 4, they're going to let you use user mods,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool.
I mean, some guy made a mod of a canceled DLC for Fallout 4, and they fucking snatched that up like they were Konami and got rid of it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's not for him to sell out there.
He wasn't selling it.
It's still not for him to put out.
And
It was a canceled.
It was canceled. They were never going to do anything with it. It's just gone.
Well, still, that'd be like you having a company that you're making money off the stuff you're putting out. You cancel something because you decide it's probably not going to be that great. Somebody finds it from you and steals it and puts it out there.
I don't know if he stole it.
But not for monetary
I think it was already...
gain.
I'm not sure.
Still,
What does it matter?
Still, he took it and put it out, and it was yours.
I'm pretty sure he just found the code for it, like, in the game. Because they've done that a lot. I get what you're saying, man.
Yeah,
Trust
we
me,
do.
I
I get what you're saying too, but I'm just saying if he's not selling it, I don't think it matters.
I don't know. Call Konami and ask why they're taking money from us. It's the same fucking thing.
Konami has their hands in my pockets all the time, and it's not very pleasurable.
No.
You might want to go see a doctor.
They got their pachinko hands up in me, man.
So then with Fallout, then they also talked about the DLCs that are coming out, the contraptions. So you can make little, Rube Goldberg machines all over Fallout's wasteland.
Fucking finally, God!
Now I can
you know
finally
I've been
make
wanting to do
breakfast.
They have a
Right.
Vault-Tec DLC, so you can make your own vault. And
There's eggs.
Nuka World, a amusement park within the Fallout
I'm
universe.
actually I haven't gotten to play 4 yet, but I'm actually kind of interested in that because I like when they do stuff like that.
I mean, if you had an Xbox One, I'd be like, you can borrow 4 if you want, because I've been kind of about it. I don't know. To me, like, I put it in, I'm like, it's Fallout 3. Again, it even looks like Fallout 3. Like, I don't know.
I was
I was
really
expecting
loved,
something new to blow my socks off.
like Point Lookout for 3. That was a really good DLC.
Yeah,
and it was kind
it
of
was.
like on like a boardwalk with like a Ferris wheel in a swamp. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean-
I think the thing with Fallout 4 was like we came out with a bang and then it just kind of went. Psst.
It fizzled.
Yeah.
But now Far Harbor, that expansion came out, and everybody says that fixed a lot of things, and that's really good. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Weirder things out there. There's, and I guess maybe they saw that the people that made Witcher were making Gwent, the card game. So they're saying, "Hey, Elder Scrolls Legend, a strategy card game."
Okay.
Don't get that really. Other Elder Scrolls news. They had for Elder Scrolls Online, they're doing the Dark Brotherhood expansion into the universe, so you can join the Dark Brotherhood in Elder Scrolls Online.
Which honestly should have been available from the start.
From the very goddamn start. You're absolutely correct.
It's ridiculous.
It's like one of the major factions, and they're
Even
like,
if you-
don't put that in.
Even if you could join it, I think there was. I'm not playing the game. I've not played the game.
I have not either.
I'm
but-
guessing if it is in the game, and I apologize if it is, what they're doing is making it a lot more than just, hey, here's a couple quests to go kill people.
Yeah. Maybe making it a full-fledged, like,
Yeah,
here's...
which again, should have been from the start.
Exactly. And then the biggest thing they released for Elder Scrolls was the Skyrim Special Edition, basically remastered with, vibrant god rays and...
God
You
rays.
fucking love that phrase, man.
When I saw that, I was like, what the fuck is... I'm like... No, it was dynamic god rays. That's what it was. It was something like that. It was just like a picture of like light coming through the trees. Like you see the rays of
Yeah.
light, and I'm like, just call it fucking dynamic lighting. Like what? God rays?
See, that's what I'm gonna call sunscreen now. Like when I go to the beach, I need to put on my
Dynamic God
dynamic God rays lotion.
Blocker. Make sure it's SPF 30 and above, or those god rays will get you.
Oh, they'll put all the cancer on me.
All the god ray cancer.
Melanoma.
Sounds like a cleaning solution. I don't know. But so yeah, that's out there, and with this special edition,
It's volumetric.
volumetric.
God rays.
Thank you. That's what it was. Volumetric god rays. It's like holy shit. But with this special edition, you are going to finally, for console players, put mods onto the game that are out in the mod community.
Oh yeah.
So that means you can get the Macho Man Dragon. Dig it. Which if I rebuy this, which I might, because I love Skyrim, it was a good game. This also comes with all DLCs too.
Yeah, because if
Which
it
is
didn't,
nice.
fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I thought was great, when they talked about the user mods for Fallout 4, the Bethesda devs talking about it, he's like, and soon we gonna bring it to the PlayStation. And like, I'm sure PlayStation owners were like, don't you fuck us over like you did with Skyrim, you motherfuckers. Like, soon it's like, it's not any harder to put it on that system than it is the other fucking system.
It's the exact same
Bethesda's
fucking
just got a goddamn boner for Microsoft, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm pretty sure I talked about it anyway in the last episode. I do not care much for this whole VR Fallout 4 or Doom nonsense.
No, yeah, that's right. The Doom and Fallout 4 are getting VR versions, which I don't really think it's going to add any more immersion to the fucking... Especially for Doom. I mean, honestly, it's Doom. It's fucking Doom. It's not like you need to feel like you're there.
I need Doom in my face.
Yeah.
Right up on my grill.
I mean, the game looks great, and it plays well. It's amazing, but that's one of those games to me. I don't need to feel like I'm in there doing all of that. Like it just. It's not
gimmicks.
one of them.
It's just gimmicks.
It's not one of those. It's not going to translate well.
It's silly as shit. There's your volumetric.
Oh, okay.
Oh, jeez, so beautiful.
So, it's one of the that's one of the games that's not going to translate well. Something like Resident Evil 7, that's going to translate perfectly over into it. Fallout 4, maybe.
I can see Fallout 4 being really well. It's all, there's not everybody plays it in first person. A lot of people play it in third person.
They do.
Right.
Exactly.
Which is like, you're basically saying, fuck you.
So then the basically their crown jewel to display was Dishonored 2 at their
shit.
conference.
I'm pretty excited
Which
about
looks
that.
fucking amazing.
Yeah, it looks
you get to
great.
play as Corvo or Emily, was
Or
it?
his daughter Emily. And they both have unique everything about them, except maybe the storyline altogether, which is kind of fine with me. But I don't think it's going to be like the exact same stories. It'd probably be like I can't remember what the game was, but basically you pick the character and slight things were different, but you still kind of went through the same
Yeah.
scenario.
And Corvo is suffering from what I call condemned sequelitis, where like his character just looks like he's been on a bender now, and he just grows facial hair and just
Yeah.
fucking like he doesn't wash or anything. Like,
Yeah.
Well, this is years later.
15 years.
Yeah,
I know,
Yeah.
and
but
he's
like you can
much
still
older.
you can still
and
fucking shave. You don't need to grow a
he
beard
stopped
because
caring.
you're
He
older.
killed a bunch of people. Well, technically, he didn't. You don't have to always kill all these
No, true.
He's done. He's like, I'm an old man. I used to be a fucking assassin. I need to just. I'm gonna be a dad now. Grow out the
Yeah.
beard. Get
I
a
know.
pot belly.
I-
Burned out on sleep darts. I just-
I mean, this looks great. I love the first Dishonored.
It's a very
Oh,
good game.
I can't
Fantastic
wait to
game.
play this. I can't wait for it to come out. And not that graphics mean everything. It looks slightly better than the first Dishonored, I'd say. But the style that they use is fucking awesome. I
Yeah,
love
the
it.
like hand painted picture that's alive.
Yeah, and the thing I love most about the first Dishonored is it was like I feel like I was playing a Bioshock game where I was being stealthy,
Yeah.
which was fucking great. I
Yeah.
love like going into people's houses and be like, I'll take that and that and that and that and that and that. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I'm taking it. You know, it's just like
Cans of like whale.
yeah,
Yeah,
whale fat,
yeah.
just like I'll put that in the
I'd
bag.
probably use it.
I was like, oh shit, is that lady blind? I'll take that and that. And that. So yeah, can't wait for that. So that was Bethesda. So we did-
And Prey.
oh yeah, Prey. Sorry, I almost forgot about
Will has
Prey.
been talking about Prey all day. Like every other word, Prey.
They're like,
See, you're standing here all day, they're talking about Bethesda, you talk about this and that, but you know what they forgot? At the end of the day, they forgot about Prey.
did you Prey?
I tried to do
What
forgot
I-
about Dre and it didn't work.
What I loved with Prey was that they
Yeah.
they didn't say what it was. They're just like, and we got something for you. And they play the trailer. And when I'm watching the trailer, like I'm like, okay, this looks cool, looks interesting. I still don't know what the fuck this is. Because
Yeah.
you know he's like looking in he's like the Groundhog's Day thing. He like looks at his eye. It's getting worse progressively. He's picking up his little space suit, making his coffee, and then it takes this weird turn where like these little shadow demon things are doing stuff, and like you see the chair come out. It's like 'cause something from the shadows pushes it, and it's overtaking his hands. And I'm like, oh, it's another Darkness game.
That's what it kind of looked
Why
like.
wouldn't
yeah.
it be? Because that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And it's like Prey. Like what?
Yeah.
Huh?
You remember Prey?
I was like, I do remember Prey. I remember not being that good. And I remember.
I think that's a
I
game
remember-
I threw out the window.
Yeah. I was like, I remember it not being so good, and I also remember you wanting to bring this back, and then you scrapped the project. Because I remember it was in some of the games that I bought from Bethesda. I think it was in Skyrim. They had a little pamphlet, and it was like Prey 2, and it's like he had like a beanie on, and he got a backpack. And he's just standing in an alley, like, yeah, Prey 2, you know. And then that got scrapped, and now this is what we got. So
Which is a complete
I was
reimagining.
gonna say this has nothing to do
Yeah.
with Prey 2.
it has nothing to do with aliens, I guess. Maybe
Well,
it does.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I think
don't
it
know.
does. I think it does.
So, I don't know. It looks interesting. Still not 100% sold.
Yeah.
So that was Bethesda. So now we move on to some crap.
Who doesn't love crap?
And by crap, we're going to start...
These are
well,
like-
I can't really say crap. We'll start with EA.
These are kind of like
but-
leftovers in a way. Now, like I said before, like in the last episode, EA The only thing that was interesting to me was Battlefield 1.
Yeah. Mass Effect Andromeda.
No.
I played Mass Effect 1. I found it really... people are gonna fucking hate me for it. I felt it really fucking annoying. I couldn't fucking play it. Then I got 2. I fucking love 2.
Two's mechanics were way better than 1.
They're so... Like, the cover actually works in 2.
Yeah.
I so tried to use goddamn cover in 1. It was basically like... Nah, sorry, this doesn't work. You can't press up against this. You're just gonna get shot and die.
Yeah.
Played the shit out of 2. 3 came out. I literally played none of the campaign. I played nothing but the multiplayer. Now, if they made a Mass Effect just straight multiplayer game like that one, I'd buy it right away. I fucking love the multiplayer in Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about Andromeda. I kind of feel like it'd be like Mass Effect's version of No Man's Sky.
Yeah, right.
Where you just go to this new galaxy and try and find new planets and shit.
Which that looks like a cool game. I'm kind of interested
No
in
Man's Sky?
yeah.
It got pushed back, I know that.
I know. Well, it's a fucking
2067.
it's a
Yeah.
fucking ginormous project. I'm not surprised it
They
got
shouldn't have
delayed.
fucking added an announcer. They should just finish that shit.
I'm sure Last Guardian's going to get delayed again too.
Nah, it's done. It's
But
gonna
most
come out
of the
and
other
flop.
stuff that like EA came out was a lot of
It's
like
going to have more
Star
flops than the new Scorpio.
It was just kind of like they came out and they're just like, there's Star Wars games coming. Okay, we get it. Yeah.
They're just trying to shove Star Wars in.
They're like,
'cause
yeah,
the new movies are coming
Battlefront
out.
2.
I fucking
Okay.
hate how EA with those Star Wars games. It's like Star Wars EA Battlefront. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like you can't just make it. It's fucking Star Wars. You got to put
Yeah.
your stupid shitty ass logo in there too.
They're
I
like-
fucking hate.
They're
EA.
like Kojima, but without the years of being oppressed by their corporate masters. Because they are the corporate masters.
Get the fuck out my office.
So if you ever noticed, as years went on, more and more Kojima just put his name on the games. Because Konami was slowly like,
Well, you know what? If I
this
was
isn't yours,
Kojima,
this is us.
if I was Kojima, I'd put my name on it too because I'd be proud of the shit I'm putting out because he makes good shit.
No. But he
Like-
used to do it only a little bit.
Oh no, I know.
Now people like
Konami's
Metal Gear Solid 5,
yeah.
at the beginning of every mission, Hideo Kojima. Hideo Kojima. Hideo Kojima.
This is like
every single time.
Hideo Kojima joint.
Remember me.
There's a fucking mission in it where you
Kojima
rescue
joint.
him from a fucking area.
That's
was
awesome.
like seriously. It was like I'm pretty sure I talked about it. At one point, they would not let him leave the office to sign like things for the release manager stuff. Like he snuck out and went to a game store and just signed everything he could. The fucking floor, people's games, whatever. He could sign it. He was going to sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He like tied his bed sheet to the bed and then like went out the window and like
Didn't have a
crawled
bed.
down.
I can see being like
I thought
a.
he's probably had a pretty nice office.
He
Probably
had
a
like
bed
he
in
had
it.
like a metal slab.
I could see it being like a Rapunzel type thing where he's just like he's up there and he has to like come down, so he just takes his new contract and ties it all together to make his way down. It's like all the things he can't do. It's like fucking 5 foot.
I'm just
thick of
I'm just
paper.
glad he's back from vacation.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
So that was kind of like the highlights from EA.
Yeah,
like,
there was.
I don't know.
There
Ubisoft.
Once again,
Ubisoft is known for having the most cringeworthy conferences, and they got another. I think they got that. She did it in past years. It was I think she's a comedian or she tries to be funny. They got her to be on there to host
Who?
it again. I don't remember her name. She did it last year, I think. But I'll never forget the year that they're like, oh, hey, let's get Jamie Kennedy to host this.
yeah.
Jamie Kennedy shows up just fucking high off his ass, making fun of people that play video games.
Yeah.
It was just... So Ubisoft goes, don't forget about that Assassin's Creed movie.
Mm-hmm.
We can't show you a game this year, so we're going to remind you. Michael Fassbender's going to be there.
Yep.
So there was that and a game called Steep,
Steep, which apparently they've been working on for a while.
which is a tea simulator, I
It's
think.
yeah. How long will
waiting
you
for
let
one.
it steep?
Yeah.
Basically, it's a
How long will you steep?
snowboarding, skiing, like open world adventure simulation game.
Right. So it's
which
gonna-
sounds really confusing.
It's going to do everything like more than you wanted a 1080 game to do for you, but do it way worse. Probably.
It's like they took SS Tricky and took all the fun out of it. That's kind of what it looked like.
Good. Good.
You can still do tricks and stuff, but it's not like arcade style.
Fucking beautiful.
I was watching. There were these two guys. I don't remember who they were. They were
watching these two guys. Steve.
They were with. They had their own YouTube channel, and they were talking about they got to play it.
Yeah.
And the guy said that it's a steep learning curve. The controls are not intuitive at all.
What a dick.
It looks nice, but it's really tough to play.
He did that on purpose.
Which, it's... Yeah,
No thanks.
I think I'm good.
No thanks, Ubi.
Let's not forget they also announced Watch Dogs 2.
Who cares?
Yeah, I didn't really care about the first one.
They dropped the ball so bad on
The
that.
new South Park game, The Fractured Butthole.
I was getting into that. It was my miscellaneous category.
It's by Ubisoft, though.
See, I
don't want to
Oh,
associate
yeah, Activision, Ubisoft.
I don't want to
you're right.
associate him with it, though. I just want to be like, Matt Parker.
Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Yeah, well, Matt Stone and Trey Parker take the credit for that.
And they were there. They were there. They had their own press
How are
conference
they
for
looking
it.
nowadays?
Yeah, their own fucking press conference.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them go out in public in a while now. Like, the last time I heard about it, Fred told me it was like, Trey's he's like, Trey looks terrible, and Matt looks just the same, just more afro.
It's kind of close, yeah,
Yeah.
about right, yeah.
So, then we'll get in. This is our final stuff to cover. This is some of the miscellaneous things that we saw from all the other developers out there. Titanfall 2. That's
I didn't get
in
to
the
play
pipeline.
I didn't get to play the first one because of goddamn it being on X Mode, and I was not going to buy an X Mode. And then when I was thinking about buying one, I wanted to get that game, and then I heard, the community just left.
Right.
Which seemed to happen with a lot of games at that time.
I found that out the hard way
God.
because it was free. Like when I bought my Xbox One, it was one of the games that was free in gold. So I was like, "Oh, cool! I'll try this out." And then I put it in, went to play it, and I got no one to join to play with me. And that's the only way you can play it.
Yeah.
But this one is going to be cross-platform, so it's going to be.
And
on
they're going to have an in-depth single-player campaign.
Thank fucking God, which is what should have been there in the first fucking
Right.
place. Then there was South Park: The Fractured Butthole. Could be cool. I didn't get to play the Stick of Truth, but I fucking watched videos of people playing it, and it looks amazing, and it looks funny
that's
as hell.
hilarious.
I probably will get to it at some point in time. Now, the one that I kind of felt upset about the most in the miscellaneous category is Friday the 13th, the game. When I saw the Kickstarter for this, or the GoFundMe, or whatever the fuck it was it started on,
Kickstarter.
I was like, this is a great idea. It's awesome. It's essentially what, the idea of this is essentially what Dead by Dawn is now, but they did it better.
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. Sorry, Dead by Dawn. I did it again.
Yeah, Evil Dead 2.
I did it again.
Evil
Love
Dead
that
2. Dead by
phrase
Dawn.
so
Dead by
much.
Dawn.
Dead by Daylight did it better.
Yeah.
They saw this idea
Yeah.
and they're like, we can do that and just do it better.
Yeah.
So there were people playing this, and the thing that got me mad right off the bat, and I'm like, I hope this isn't like this every time you go into a mission. It starts off and you just hear, "Get him, Jason." They found you, go kill him. And it's like, oh my God, really?
Yeah.
And they got her to fucking do that.
Yeah, they did.
See, what they had in their mind was, we have to make it so the players can feel the reasoning behind why Jason did. He's fucking dead.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if he hears voices or not. I just want to
Gave
kill
him
fucking.
powers.
That's what
Yeah. And then to me, like when the game boots up and they're playing, I'm like, that isn't the real Jason model you're going with. Is it? Are you fucking? It looks like he has a pop vinyl head on his fucking shoulders. It looks like a square. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What is going on here? And then he walks up to a cabin and it's like, hey, fucking Jason, kill him, my mama.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what? No. And like the gameplay just doesn't make any sense how it works.
Yeah.
It's just like it. When the guys killed people, it looked like it happened by chance. It didn't look like you were actually doing it like strategically. Because like 1 minute he's in front of the cabin, he's looking at somebody, and then he just like whoosh, and he shows up behind somebody on a path.
Yeah.
And then just starts jamming their face into a tree, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck just happened? Did his Jason alarm go off?
His Jason powers.
He's like, hold on, somebody's over here on the trail now, so I'm just gonna poof, vanished.
Yeah.
He like Corvo came over. He's like, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to blink, Jason. We're gonna. It's real cool.
Because they gave him powers. Like he can sense when you're in a house. He can't tell like where in the house, but he can tell when you're in a house. He can tell like where you are, and like if you run, he can see you. It's like basically like stand still, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex can't see you, kind of thing. and then like they gave him like these different types of like powers and stuff, and like they really wanted to show off the fact that he could kick doors in. They showed it twice in the footage that I saw, where like they're just like somebody's like hiding under a bed, and you see the door just go, poof, poof, and then just go, poof, like the door breaks open, and he's standing there. I'm like, that looked horrible. Like, I get where they were going with this, but like the blood effects look terrible. I mean, they don't even look as good as like the Mortal Kombat Fatality blood from the PS2 games.
No.
Hell, even the N64 games, it doesn't look good.
I don't get how you could take something so simple and drop the ball on it so hard.
Yeah.
And I was excited for this game. I really was. I really wanted to get this game because I'm like, hey, the last time there was a Friday the 13th game, it was on a Nintendo, and they fucked that up too.
Well, guess what? Someone saw that you wanted that, and they made Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy
And I
that.
can't play that because it's on PC.
But it might come to consoles if it sells well. So
I have heard
probably.
that it might be coming.
if
to
you
console.
really are interested, look this game up. You might want to buy it if you have the PC to play it, and then support will make it get to consoles.
Yeah.
So our friend Matt here will be able to play it.
My laptop could probably play it right now anyway, but
Yeah, probably, but you just don't want to.
I got no way to play with right now. I'm not just getting on there with random kids. You're playing Dark Souls all the time. You ain't gonna play with me. You're like, nah, I ain't doing that,
I should have
son.
fucking played Dark Souls with you early, and you're like, stop being gay.
I was on my way to get you. I was like, I'm not gonna get in a fucking chat with you, and I'm gonna be like, well, bye. Kill yourself.
Fourth wall gone.
No. Alright, well, that's all our coverage. If there's some games we didn't catch, it's just because I don't.
It was a ton.
I don't have
Stuff to
A
go
lot of
over.
stuff, yeah.
We
And
would
then
have
there-
4 hours to go over.
And then there was a lot of
shit.
stuff where there really wasn't any info. It's like, hey, this game's coming. Okay.
Yeah, that was.
Like, I know there's like another Rez game coming out. There's another Shiren the Wanderer game coming out. There was some other stuff too that I saw that was announced, but like nothing as far as gameplay or trailers or anything.
And seriously, unless you guys wanted to listen to like 4 separate episodes, an hour long of E3 coverage, which would take a month to get through,
Yeah.
we had to shorten it
This
up.
this was enough.
So we're going to finish up with the request topics. This one comes from Brian Peterson. He says, what are your favorite games shown this year? And what are your thoughts on Dead Stranding, the weird but cool-looking Norman Reedus game? Days Gone By, or Days Gone... I'm going to want to say that every time now. Days Gone By.
Days gone by.
Days
The
Gone...
weird Norman Reedus game.
and my personal favorite Friday the 13th game. Unfortunately,
Sorry about that,
I
bud.
can't share in the enthusiasm with the Friday the 13th. as
They
you.
they need to fix some stuff there.
Don't get me wrong, I love Friday the 13th. I'm a huge, probably the bigger fan in this room of the Friday the 13th
You are. I'm not
franchise.
a huge fan of it. I'm fine with it. But.
Yeah. I'm
I
the
like
one that's just...
the first movie because it's the only one I've seen.
You want to borrow any of them, I'll let you borrow some.
You're gonna get
I got,
rid of them?
I got fucking all of them.
Are you tired of them? You're like,
No, I'm just saying.
Actually, that's a
Gotta
lie. I
watch 'em.
have seen whatever the one where he goes into space.
X.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I don't
Takes Manhattan's one of my
I don't
favorite.
count
That one is
I like
garbage.
Takes Manhattan.
Part 6, Jason Lives, I want to
Yeah.
say. The one where he's a zombie for the first time, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
How was he not a zombie in any other game?
He never was. He was just
Sorry, not game, movie.
he was just a mongoloid who with a high threshold for pain that could never die.
Yeah.
He fucking died though.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, what's
He's
it-
dead in the first movie as a small kid.
No, he didn't die.
No.
He didn't die.
He drowned in the lake.
Technically.
Why is he in the lake then at the end of the movie?
Because the movie sold well, and the execs said, we got to get that fucking dead kid out of the lake and put a potato sack on his fucking head and start killing bitches. That's the way we're going to make more money. And then we're going to shoot it in 3D.
Nobody remembers Sackhead, Jason.
No, nobody remembers him. It's like, then we're going to make a third movie. He's going to get a hockey mask, going to shoot that shit in 3D, then he's going to kill fucking 500,000 goddamn people. We'll send him to goddamn hell, put him in space, and then we're done with this fucking shit forever.
You forgot when he fought Freddy.
Yeah, and he fought Freddy. And then Michael Bay's like, oh no, I'm going to dig this fucking shit up out of the ground. Then he made a movie, and then they're like, hey, fuck, we'll do it again, whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on.
So our favorite games.
My favorite showing was... So I got 2. Dead Stranding.
Death
I'm
Stranding.
calling it Dead Stranding now. That sounds better. Death Stranding. I liked that because I'm really interested in seeing what's going to happen with that. And probably Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I'm not with you on the Death Stranding. It wasn't enough for me to even.
It had crabs, Will.
I get that.
Do you like a crab?
It was interesting, but it's not my game of the expo.
Oh, it's because it's not. It wasn't a game. It was a.
Yeah,
it was a video.
It was a video.
Okay, fine. That was one of my favorite videos of the expo.
But it certainly has got me titillated.
It's got me titillated,
I can
yes.
see. Lots of tits.
I'm dripping. Probably Breath of the Wild. My favorite pick
For
of the
me,
whole thing.
it is combined between Breath of the Wild and Dishonored 2. I am really excited about both of those games. More Breath of the Wild, because I'm a much bigger Zelda fan than I am Dishonored, because Dishonored's one game. But Dishonored 2 looks so fucking good. And the fact that they're going with 2 characters, and I hope they don't do the bullshit. It was like, oh, you got 2 characters, we make half a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid of that too.
I mean, if I was to do like a top 5, it would, like in no order, completely random. It had to be Breath of the Wild, God of War probably, just because I'm a God of War fan. Death Stranding. Did I say Zelda already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
First one. You're
Maybe
on
I don't
3.
have a top 5.
You'd have 2 more left.
What the hell? I had it in my head and now it's gone. Never mind. Fuck me. Never mind. Those 3. There you go. That's my picks. Oh, and Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7, Bloodstain.
Fuck yes, Bloodstained.
See, I'm not counting because I already know about it. Like,
Everyone's
Still,
known about it
we
forever.
saw more of it there than we have prior.
Matt's not seen any of it.
No, well, no.
I'm going to be the most blind going into this than any of you motherfuckers.
And then, Cuphead.
Damn you and this fucking
He
Cuphead.
says that louder than he says anything else.
I know, he's like,
Yeah.
no, Cuphead.
Breath of the Wild, and Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
For
Okay,
me-
that would be, Battlefield 1.
For me, it's Breath of the Wild, Dishonored 2. I want to say Bloodstained, but I'm kind of on the same thing with Matt. I know all about Bloodstained because I get updates on this. I'm not going to count Bloodstained. Battlefield 1. You literally just said it and I can't fucking remember. It's sad. I don't give a fuck about no Cuphead.
And Killer Instinct. There's Jason.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking killer instinct. Just kill me now.
All right, so we'll move on to the next. This is from Frankie, so we'll just group these in as one question. VR games is the way of the future or just a fad? I saw something about Resident Evil becoming a VR game.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 is going to be a VR game and also a standoff in VR as well.
And I feel that at this rate, it's not a fad anymore, but it's not picking up enough steam. But games like Resident Evil 7, which is certainly going to breathe back that life into this series that it desperately fucking needed, as well as Fallout 4, Doom, and all the other games that they're porting into VR, is going to help bring VR closer to everyone's fucking room.
Give it legitimacy.
Yeah.
I think for right now, it's not going to go away or anything like I originally thought it might be, like go the way of like 3D TVs in the home or whatever. I think it's going to have a strong footing but it's going to just be along with the normal versions of mainstream releases. Like, it's going to be an add-on that you could use or not use. But I could see, if it holds on, I could see at one point in time the technology is going to be a little more affordable for people to get, and it's going to be more of a standard thing that you play games that way.
Yeah.
And it'll just be the new norm.
See, the only problem I have with that is I couldn't imagine every single game wanting to be fucking VR. I just couldn't do it.
I think it's got to get beyond the era of tech demos and ports, where it's like either you're just porting a game into it, you know, just to like, and then like you said, kind of like shoehorning 3D effects in, like, like here's a yo-yo coming at you kind of thing, or, you know.
Yeah, if you're listening, any devs, just don't fucking just make a game like I'm there already.
Or like tech demo type style games like that Eagles View or whatever game.
Eagles Flight.
Eagles Flight. Once you start getting games that are built specifically around the peripheral, that's when I think we'll see it click on. But I don't think it's going to replace anything. I think it's going to be just an add-on,
like a
peripheral.
It's just because everyone, aside from Nintendo right now, is doing VR.
I don't think it's going to be. I think it'll kind of be like similar to how light gun games used to be, where you that was a peripheral that you bought.
I liked light gun games.
Oh, I
in the
do.
house.
I do
I
too.
still wish they did that.
I don't know if I want to play like a Mario game in VR. I'd probably get sick as fuck.
Like a Mario Galaxy style game or something,
Or just
maybe?
like him in general.
Like I said,
the way he jumps.
There's
like
too many games that it just would not work.
It's gonna have to. It's not gonna be every game. It can't be. It's gonna have to be like a
Sonic
peripheral
game in VR.
Yes.
Sonic 06 VR edition.
Especially considering a lot of people play Sonic by just, no matter what, I'm going to crouch and spin for like 10 seconds before I go, even though it doesn't add
You're
any
seeing
extra
that
speed.
in first person, just like. Okay, his other part of his question was, if you could replay any game in VR mode, with today's graphics, what would it be? Mine would be Zelda: Ocarina of Time, or a close quarters game like Silent Hill 2. I agree with the Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2 would be so goddamn terrifying in VR.
I would shit myself. Just like being in a hotel alone, like the first thing that came in, I was just like, ugh!
A couple that come to mind right away.
I win.
Fatal Frame.
Oh, God. Oh. No, thank you.
And
they give you a camera peripheral. So they start doing like what we did, where they just make foam things to hold in your hand. You're like,
another one would be like Metroid Prime.
Metroid, I want to agree with you right there. Fucking Metroid Prime 1 for VR would be amazing, and I would also say Perfect Dark for the first Perfect Dark, not the shitty sequel where Joanna apparently decided I'm going to change my hair color and become a big ass skank and just ruin the series.
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I really don't know. There's a lot of games that I would want to play, but I don't feel like they translate well because outside of like first person games, I really wouldn't want to play a VR game.
I mean, I get where he's coming on with Ocarina, because it, you know, that
you spend a good amount of time in first person with the bow and the hook
I
shot.
could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Motion control sword like the Wii and have a shield and sword.
I would love to play Halo 3 over again if I could do it in VR, because that would be cool, like the whole scarab fight and all that stuff going on. Like, you'd be like really feeling like you're riding on the back of a mongoose shooting fucking RPGs at a giant scarab.
I wouldn't want to play multiplayer like that.
Not multiplayer, I just mean the story.
I'd be so furious.
How about BioShock Infinite?
Oh my god, that'd be great. Or any of the Bioshocks for that
Not
matter.
2.
Dude, I would love, not 2, but
Yeah.
I would love to be down in fucking Rapture. Big Daddy's coming at me, like.
Because I can only imagine jumping around on those sky rails.
Oh, fuck.
Oh god, I
in
would
VR.
Dude, I'd be vomiting all over my floor. You kidding me?
You will's the motion signal.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm the one
that's-
asking for it.
The one thing I thought
Take
was
my Dramamine before I play BioShock.
if they could translate this right, I would love to play God of War 3 in a virtual reality mode. Because the Vive has the 2 sticks that get your movement with your hands, so it'd be great if you could swing the Blades of Chaos around.
Yeah.
You're in first person mode, you see the enemies, you can they're behind you and everything, you're surrounded, you can use all the special moves and everything. But, of course you'd have to do like a certain movement to initiate the special move, probably.
Right.
Or a button combination or whatever. But I think that'd be a really cool thing because, like, think of the scale battles. You fought fucking Kronos.
Mm-hmm.
You fought. I want to call it Pisces, but that's not right. The god of the sea.
Poseidon?
Poseidon. Thank you.
Who used to be your bro.
Yeah, you fought
Yeah.
him the very beginning of the game, and that's an amazing fight.
I remember that. Yeah.
I haven't played through God of War, but I never watched.
I
you play
played
that.
a good amount of 3 and got to like the maze, and I was playing at a friend's house, and then I didn't have time to play anymore. I
Yeah.
really wanted to finish it. It
I
was a
just
fun game.
imagine all that shit. Like, you rip Helio's head off, like in VR. That'd be fucking great. It's like have the controller, like you grab it all together, and just like rip.
A game that I would really,
Bloodthirsty.
I'd love to play in VR, even though it's kind of weird and probably would be uncomfortable, would be No More Heroes.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you were gonna say
Catherine.
Catherine. I was like, oh
No.
I was scared the
No.
shit out of me playing Catherine in VR.
I'm not doing that. I died a lot in that game.
Just an upward scrolling puzzle with
And then you
fucking
fall?
creatures that chase you.
I get a little bit of fucking vertigo sometimes, and VR falling into a fucking,
Yeah, that would not be for you.
like, for a while.
An
no.
infinite void, basically.
No, you land on fucking blocks with a bunch of dead bodies.
Oh, okay.
And then you say,
Yeah.
now's not the time to be dead. And you
Don't
go
do
right
that.
back up.
Don't do that. But yeah, No More Heroes would be fucking great.
It'd be so fucking excellent. I mean,
And 1 and 2.
Some parts would be uncomfortable, but I can deal with that.
A little uncomfortable, the whole recharging in VR, yeah.
Not just that, dude.
I would feel uncomfortable with people watching me play. Recharge, let's go.
It just reminds me of that one scene in an episode of Ren and Stimpy where like I think they were sleeping together like really closely or something, and they're like all the characters were standing in the window just staring in.
Watch them sleep together. Oh, that's great. So, yeah, just a few off the bat. I think that's pretty good. That covers it. I mean, as any of the Zelda games, I'd be all for. I mean, that's like the kind of immersion you've always wanted to have with the Zelda
Faces of
games.
Evil.
Feel like you're Link. Okay,
Wand of Gamelon.
Nintendo canon. Let's put it that way. All right, so moving on. This is Justin Hubler, and this is our last request of the day. Handheld gaming. Any of you guys own or play frequently?
That'd be me.
The two over here, not me.
3DS.
Will there ever be a handheld game system that will give Nintendo a run for its money?
There's been a couple that tried. They died.
Yeah.
Nintendo now washes their systems in the blood of their fallen enemies.
I
PSPs,
really
Vitas.
enjoyed PSP, but there just wasn't enough there to keep
No,
it
they
going.
made a great peripheral and gave it nothing.
I
Like-
played 2 games on it. It was pretty. I want to be the hero, which is really fucking
Okay,
fun.
yeah.
And Dissidia, and Dissidia 2. I guess that's 3 games, but I really enjoyed those games. Otherwise, it was just, hey, let's remake all the Final Fantasies and put them on again.
Yeah, I mean, I got into the Crisis Core, but I essentially got to the point where, like, I don't really want to play this type of game on this.
Yeah.
I want to play this on a fucking console
A lot
on
of
my
this,
screen.
a lot of things they
Like,
tried to do. I mean, aside from like Peace Walker, was make.
Yeah.
I mean, Peace Walker even was a good example of it. They tried to make PS2 games
Yep.
portable,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is understandable. You kind of want that, but it's like
But then the thing they did that
I
made
don't
them...
want to do this in public. I sometimes feel uncomfortable playing the fucking 3DS in
Right.
public.
Well, and the thing they started doing that made no sense was like the ones that sold good on the PSP, then they started just porting them over
Porting
to the
them over.
PlayStation.
They did.
So then PlayStation
God of
owners
War.
were like, "Well, I'll just fucking wait for it to be on my console then instead
God
of
of
buying
War,
this to play."
Silent Hill. There are others too. I can't.
The
think
Peace
of
Walker got a PlayStation.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Peace Walker.
the Peace Walker.
Yeah. There's some good titles, like hidden gem titles on the PSP that, right now is a
Pretty,
good.
I want to be the hero.
Yeah, right now is a good time to grab them because they're going to start going up in
Oh,
price
yeah.
here pretty soon. And they're still readily available on Amazon for
And if
like
you-
ridiculously low prices.
And if for some reason you're one of those people that are into collecting the VMUs, they're like $0.25 a piece nowadays. So, like the VMU movies.
Oh, UMD.
UMD, sorry. not
VMU was the
That was
Virtual
Dreamcast,
memory
yeah.
for the
Yeah.
Dreamcast.
Yeah, UMD like movies. You can usually when you find them, they're like $1. Less.
Sorry, I was
They're cheap
saying
as
that wrong.
shit.
Can I really be the hero?
Yeah, there's a few different PSP games I want to pick up yet. But there's a lot of like really weird, obscure titles like Fat Princess Fistful of Cake and the Platypon games and Loco Roco, which is a lot of fun. It's really weird in Japanese, but it's a lot of fun.
I mean, the only people that haven't thrown their hat into this ring was Microsoft yet.
Right.
I don't
think they understand, though. They saw Sony did it and were like...
Exactly. I don't think they're even going to bother trying because that's a lot of money on their end to create the peripheral to throw into a market where another company already fucking failed.
And not to mention they're already throwing a lot of money into new Xboxes.
Yeah.
And like you just said, and like I was saying, they saw Sony attempt to dethrone Nintendo, and it was just like they got kind of up that Mortal Kombat-esque tier of fighters before they were just like, we're dead. We can't get past the halfway point.
Yeah,
so they
even chose novice difficulty and only got halfway up the fucking tier. I don't think unless there is a company that comes around that just specifies in handheld gaming and they know what they're doing properly, I don't see anybody dethroning Nintendo anytime soon.
Even then, you've had a few that have attempted, like outside companies that have attempted.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't a possibility that someone could come along and give them a run for their money, but I don't see them ever really getting dethroned from it. They know what they're doing with handhelds.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they fuck up. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you had a fucking thing to strap to your face. Yeah, you had an electronic piece of toast and goggles you strapped to your fucking face, and that did not work. Like, the 2DS, I get the idea. You know, they're like, oh, if you don't want to play in 3D, it's like...
If it's uncomfortable for you...
There's a fucking switch to turn it off, too. And then you can close it to protect your fucking screens. With the 2DS, you can't do that. They're just there. Yeah. Scratch the fork, all the shit. Like, and what I think is funny with the 2DS when you look at its design, it's just one fucking screen behind there. They just put that plastic bar
over
over
there. Partition.
Yeah. Just put a partition over it. So you're not even getting two screens like you would with a 3DS. You're just getting one.
The first time I saw it, it reminded me a lot of, and I don't know if you guys will remember these, but like, they're for, at least I know of a couple of titles. One was specifically Bo Jackson, baseball and football, where it was the same game, and you had two control pads, and you would like flip it over to play the other game.
Yeah.
And it was Tiger Electronics that made that.
I remember that shit.
Tiger Electronics was like...
the lord of handhelds in the early 90s.
That might have been the only thing that...
They were like the Squire. Nintendo was still like, you got the Game Boy.
Yeah.
That
might have been the only thing that really held any type of ground alongside of a Nintendo handheld was the Tiger Electronics.
Which were awful.
They were god-awful.
They were awful, but they were cheap, and people were buying them.
They were cheap, and they had titles. They actually had names. Yeah.
And then they also had the ghosting issues, and then the burn-in problems. Then it's just garbage.
I still enjoy Tiger Electronics pinball and bowling and skeet shoot.
Like I remember used to playing the Sonic ones, and it was like it's good until you played it for like an hour.
Yeah,
just like,
the Castlevania one sucks.
I remember playing and beating the Street Fighter one.
The Double Dragons suck.
I remember Castlevania. The Simon's Quest one. Oh my god, that was horrible.
That's the one I have.
Garbage.
It's not good at all.
Garbo.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I only had pinball.
The Sonic the Hedgehog one up there.
I had pinball and Gauntlet, and then maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I decided I wanted to start picking these up when I saw them at yard sales and stuff. And then I had a guy on the one message board that I'm a member of.
He always got a guy.
He was finding these a lot of times in California at like thrift stores and stuff. He was picking them up and then just mailing them to me like in exchange for. We would do trades of like sports cards and stuff. I would trade him some Oakland Athletic cards, and he would send me Tiger Electronics games. And
this is weird.
I got a lot of like really.
What kind of crazy bartering system are you in?
That's the collectible world, man.
I don't want to be.
And that's how I ended up. I have like one of those big totes of these games that like they're sitting in a tote somewhere. But like I have all the Disney ones, and
you gonna burn it at some point? Like set it aflame and send it out to sea? They're dead, man. Nintendo won.
I want to have a Tiger Electronics party where like you sit around and you drink and you play bad LCD games.
Why not just have them play bad LSD games?
Oh, well, you could do that.
I'm sure they'll have more fun.
Well, guys, I think that's going to end our E3 2016 coverage this time around. I love when E3 comes around. It's great. And I love doing these episodes of it.
It's not always great. I've had some bad E3s, my friend.
I know. I just mean, regardless, even if it's like good or bad things that are
It's
shown.
entertaining.
It's entertaining
I
as
think
shit.
the
to watch.
thing that was so refreshing about this year is there were surprises. In the past few years, it's like there's nothing that was shocking. It might have been more shocking when things weren't shown than things that were
I love
shown.
your Jane's Addiction reference. That she didn't even try.
And it's just like this year, like Spider-Man game. I had no idea that was coming, like at all.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And there was some other stuff too that I had no idea. Like obviously, Naked Norman Reedus, didn't see that coming.
No one did.
Nobody saw Naked Norman Reedus.
He
coming.
might not even have seen that coming. He was like, "What do you need my full body scan?" Me know, and you find out later. But yeah, I can't wait for 2017 to see what's down the pipeline. Maybe some of the same. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure some of these games will be seen again.
Every single Kojima game from now on is gonna have naked Norman Reedus.
Ugh.
But what did the listeners and the viewers?
Yeah, what was your guys'
Yeah.
favorite or least favorite things from this year's E3?
What do you think of Naked Norman Reedus? I know what my wife thinks of Naked Norman Reedus.
What does she think
but-
about him and his cesarean scar?
Yeah, she didn't see the whole
Chicks
thing.
dig scars, though.
Yeah.
Cesarean
scars.
Yeah. It's right on the abs, man. What's the most metal place to have a scar is on the abs. Whew.
What?
I'm diamonds just thinking about it.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a fucking
Titillating.
cesarean scar. I don't care who you are.
That sounds like a type of pizza.
If you saw a guy and
cesarean.
you knew it was cesarean. You knew it was a cesarean. You'd be like, when the fuck did you give birth? It's weird, man.
It's an oil baby.
Oil babies.
It's not gonna be a game. It's gonna be a movie.
All right, we gotta end this shit.
It's environmental protection. Kojima 2017.
Let us know what you feel about E3 in the comments below. As always, thank you all so much for listening. All the annotations everywhere you can find us will be down below. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We'll catch you in the next episode, guys.
Cuphead!